Sometimes when we look back over our life, it doesn't seem to make sense. But can I tell you something that I've learned? This don't have to be true for you, but it's true for me. I am not entitled to a logical sequence of living. I'm not. I don't know where I made it up in my brain that I am entitled to a logical sequence of living. If I do this, that'll happen. If I do it this way, that'll happen. If I do this, I'm not entitled to that. Who made that up? Must have been one of y'all. And then I believed you. We're not entitled to a logical sequence in our living. We are entitled to a divine and majestic unfolding of our lives. Because no matter what it is or how it unfolds, it's wonderful. So let me fast forward a little bit. I had a long-term relationship, a 40-year relationship with one man, on and off, in and out, up and down. He married somebody else, I married somebody. He had children, I had children. Crazy. 40 years. Until we finally decided that we were going to get married again. And we did. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but I forgot that on the other side of the wedding, I was going to have a husband. I forgot that. I thought I could just have a wedding. I just wanted the wedding, and I mean I had a wedding here, okay? I had a wedding, a ding-wed. But I forgot that after the cake was all gone and stuff, that I was going to take home a person that had issues and challenges and a history. I forgot that. I don't know what I was thinking. Thinking is the operative word. You know? So after 40 years and I got it home, oops. Make no mistake about it, I absolutely love this man. Still do, still love him. But I've grown myself up enough and to know that don't mean we got to have the same key. So 5, 6, 7 years into the marriage, when both of us were miserable and just couldn't figure out how to make this work, he decided that he wanted to leave. And I don't know if I was upset about him leaving or upset about he left first. I mean, I knew one of us was going to have to go, but I wanted to be first. But I just didn't move quick enough. So anyway, we separated with a plan to come back together. That was the plan. And that didn't work out. So in the process of the plan not working out, he became attracted to one of my students and then decided to divorce me by email. Sent me an email. I guess if people can date online, I guess you can divorce by email. And that was crazy. And it wasn't just that he sent me the notification by email, it's just that it wasn't the first thing in the email. You know, it was a whole long email. And then at the end of the email, he said, oh, by the way. Crazy, just crazy, but all things are lessons that God would have us learn. So needless to say, you know, obviously he was willing to disappoint me and upset me and make me angry, and that took me into high pissosity. I was very unspiritually pissed off. Murder, she wrote. Murder, she wrote. I wrote down all of the ways I was going to kill him. I put them in my journal. Yes, I did. I had to pray that my feet did not go astray to his house and choke him, shoot him, stab him, kill him, and then gouge out his eye. Because I'm highly evolved and spiritual. So I knew I couldn't do that. Didn't mean I couldn't think about it though, right? But I didn't want to suffer. And holding on to that kind of stuff makes you suffer. You suffer. You think about it in the morning, you think of, oh please, it was too much, I was risking wrinkles, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't stay there. Oh, it was too horrifying. So I had to do the F word. I had to do the F word. Forgive. Trends. So you know, I tried to forgive him between plotting the murder. I forgive you, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I did the forgiveness diet. I did the forgiveness chant. I made me a forgiveness poem. I made some forgiveness oil and I rubbed it on the bottom of my feet. I got a forgiveness crystal. I was really working hard to forgive because I really wanted to kill somebody. I had to forgive. I forgive you! I forgive you! My friend at the time was on a weight release program, and she had a patch. Have you seen those? The patches you put on, there's some kind of patch you put on. And it has medication in it, and it keeps you from overeating. So anytime she would want to eat, she'd go get a patch, and she'd put a patch on. I said, I need a patch. So I went and got me a big square Band-Aid. You know the square ones, right? I put it right here and wrote on it, forgiveness. I wrote right across the patch. Well, you might need a patch too. Don't laugh. And on a bad day, I put one here, I put one here, I put one on each wrist. I had one to the side of my face, so anytime I look, I just had patches all over. I was trying to forgive him. I wanted to kill him. So I just kept doing it, because sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it. So I kept doing it because I didn't want to suffer. I didn't want to suffer. And you know what? I wanted him to be happy. I loved him. I really did. And I wanted him to be happy. Not with her, but I wanted him to be happy. Tell the truth. Be authentic. I wanted him to be happy by himself. Oh, Lord. Help me arise, your light has shined. So one day I was driving home, and it was raining real hard, and all of a sudden I just started to weep. I mean, weep. I'm talking the ugly, wipe your nose in your clothes weeping. It was terrible. I couldn't even see. And so my guides, my angels, they said, Iyanla, sweetie, pull over. You don't have to kill yourself. Just pull over. So I pulled over to the side of the road, and I just sat there weeping. And then I became aware. I said, you know what? These are not sad tears. You know, do you know the distinction between a sad tear and a happy tear, a joy tear? Did you know that sad tears come on the inside of your eye and joyful tears come on the outside? You don't have to believe me, that's life according to Iyanla. Just pay attention next time, okay? So anyway, I said, oh, these are not sad tears. What is going on? So I just started to pray, and I said, Holy Spirit, why am I crying? Why am I crying? And I heard very clearly, you're in love. I am? With who? Who am I in love with? I know I couldn't have been him, because he was on the hit list. So I just kept weeping and crying and listening. I'm in love. Who am I in love with? And they said, her. Her? Have I switched sides? Who is she? Where is she? And then I realized, I said, no, I love her. I love her because I love him, and she makes him happy. I love her because she was there for him when I wasn't. I was too busy out in the world trying to save y'all. I love her because she is who he needs at this time, and I wasn't, nor do I want to be. I love her for that. I love her because she met him where he was and inspired him to go higher. She made him smile again. And she gave him something to look forward to. And she was willing to be, for him, the kind of partner I was not willing to be. I loved him, but I wasn't willing to be who he needed. I had to be who I was. And the two were not in alignment. So I loved her in that moment. And I sat there and I said, Iyanla, you have lost your mind. You love the other woman. You done lost it, girl. You done lost it. But then I realized that just because he was with her didn't mean I had to stop loving him. I got to choose how to be in relationship with him. And he got to choose how to be in relationship with me. And that's when I knew that I had grown myself up big. That I had grown up in my spirit and my soul. That I had grown up in love. That I had grown up in consciousness. That it was no longer about my little needs and wants and desires, but it was about the highest good for everybody involved. Now, would I invite them to dinner? Oh, no. But I'm happy for them at a distance. Y'all just be happy over there. Go on now, go on with yourself. Go on with your happiness. Go on. But when we can get to that place where we can see things in people in life beyond our own immediate little grasp on it, stuff will start to shift. Things will start to shift in our lives. Whether it's losing someone we love or something we love, or just growing in a way that we see things, that is the grace and that is the light. And that's when the glory of God comes upon us. So 2 years ago, before it was fashionable, not fashionable, but before it was newsworthy, I lost my home. From projects to welfare, to the projects, to law, to best-selling author, to Oprah, to my own show, didn't make me immune to my human craziness or to the problems that happen to humans. And these kind of slippery, slidey, shady things that they were doing with mortgages, they were doing long before it hit the news. And I got involved in one of those things. And I had this crazy mortgage. And in the midst of being divorced, in the midst of losing my daughter, I had a mortgage, well, I think it's called a balloon. I don't know, it's called something. Whatever it was, I didn't have the money to pay it. And nobody would refinance my house. I'm telling you, this is 2 years ago, before it was popular. Nobody would refinance my house, and nobody would tell me why. But there was whatever was going on in the shadiness. So anyway, I said, God, I have served you, I have loved you, I have grown myself up nice and big and proper, and I cannot believe that you gave me this house, and now I'm going to lose it. I had never owned a house before. I bought that house when Acts of Faith hit the New York Times bestseller list. And I saved my money and I bought it. And it wasn't a big, ostentatious house. It was a lovely little house that I made into what I wanted. I put a porch on it. Because to me, a house ain't a house if it don't have a porch. All right now. Got to have a porch. I had a deck in the back, but I had a porch out front. So it wasn't some huge mansion, it was a home. But it was the first home that my children knew. And we did all our family things there, and it was the home that my daughter loved and my grandchildren. And I couldn't understand what was the lesson that God was trying to teach me in me losing this house, that I had flown all around this country, that I had sacrificed myself, my kids, my grandkids, my marriage for. What was the lesson? And so I asked God, what is the lesson? What does this mean? And you know, I'm on a real first name basis with God, because I learned a long time ago not to put my faith in people. I don't even put my faith in me. I put my faith in spirit and law. And God said to me, this house is the fruit of a poisonous tree. And I was like, ooh, do tell. Do you care to be a little more specific? Because the truth is, if you ask, you will receive. But you gotta really wanna know and not filter it out to make it pretty, because you can't handle the truth that you're hearing, feeling, seeing, and knowing in your gut. This house is the fruit of a poisonous tree, bought with money you felt you weren't worthy to have, at a time you didn't feel worthy to have it, trying to prove to somebody else something that you didn't believe about yourself. That's a poisonous tree, and this house is the fruit of a poisonous tree. I said, well, all right, that's clear. You really don't have to say anymore, but oh no! You can't shut God up once God starts talking, you know? This house is the fruit of a poisonous tree. You weren't happy here. And you grew up believing that home was not a happy place. And you lived in this house unhappy. And you're willing to stay in this house unhappy because you don't believe you can be happy at home. And that's a poisonous tree. Oh, okay then. All righty. Anything else? I packed up and got up out of there and gave the bank the keys. Here, you can have this. Because I didn't want to suffer. And once we become aware of our issue and our challenge, and we become accountable to do something about it. Once we become aware of what it is that we're doing to create our own suffering, we are also responsible and accountable to do something about it. You can't keep saying, I want to lose weight with a Snickers bar in your pocket. All things are lessons. So I left that house and ended up on a 30-acre farm. Who knew? Sometimes we hold on to the little bit. A cigarette and a token. When if we just let go and open up, so much more would pour in. All things are lessons that God would have us learn.